Hi. Hi everybody. It's me, Oaks. And I'm back. And I'm back. I'll be back. I'll be back, boys. Gotta pee. Gotta pee and pee. Hi. And field. Stop. And field. In the field. And field. What's your name? What's your name, Anfield? Come on, man, you can trust me with that. We've known each other for more than a year. You can trust me with your name, at least. I'm green this month. Sheesh. Damn. Yare. Now on that note, everybody turn off your ad blockers so I can get some money. Yeah. Ad blockers. Finally, not Red Lord. Got lucky. Is your name Redwood? Is your name Redwood? What's up, Redwood? Stop, Redwood. Yes. Damn. You've got a Redwood? You're a Redwood? Let's go, Redwood. Are you Chinese, Redwood? What species are you? What species are you? Redwood. I was doing this. A millennium. Ra. Ha. Sha. Alien. This guy is an alien. Ha. What an alien. Create a new Vite app with TypeScript in the directory course of your submission repository. This exercise is similar to the one you have already done in part 1 of the course, but with TypeScript and some extra tweaks. Start off by modifying contents of main.txt TSS. Ningen Janai. What are you, Redwood? Some extra tweaks. Start off by modifying the contents of main.tsx to the following. Import React DOM from okay, and app.tsx. Sorry. We defined a new type, or with TypeScript we can define the types. We can define the types with the help of TypeScript, just like we define types for a regular function, as React components are nothing but mere functions. We will use an interface for the parameter types and jsx.element as the return type for any React component. Can you get? The reason for this is that this statement might return value null, but the React DOM.create, it might return null, but money. One question to you, Uchojin. Hey Uchojin, one question to you. Uchojin, いなくなったのか。ここにないみたいですね。ここにないみたいだよね。宇宙人、レッドウッド、レッドウッド、ウッド、ウッド。मेरी ढूंढना, ओ मेरी ढूंढना. Sorry. Compiler options include the lib with DOM with adds type definition for browser environment APIs such as document. Most of the other configs are more or less obvious or already familiar to us. In our previous project, we used EOS lint to help us enforce the code style, and we'll do the same with this app. We do not need to install any dependencies since Vite has taken care of that already. When we look at the main.tsx file that Vite has generated, it looks familiar, but there is a small but remarkable difference. There is an exclamation mark after this statement. Document.getElement by ID. Eh, okay, the reason for this is that the statement might return value null, but the React DOM dot create true does not accept null as parameter with the what you call this operator. It's not should go to karaoke with cute girls. I don't know any cute girl. Thing is that postfix, that's a postfix, null assertion operator. TypeScript also has a special syntax for removing null and undefined from a type without doing any explicit checking. TypeScript also has a special syntax for removing null and undefined from a type without doing any explicit checking. Writing not after any expression is effectively a type assertion that the value is a null or undefined. Effectively a type assertion that the value isn't null or undefined. Just like other type assertions, this does not change the runtime behavior of your code, so it's important to only use null when you know that the value can be null or undefined. Sorry. Kawaii onna no ko tachi to karaoke ni iku beki da. Introduce some of your female friends to me, bruh. At least you can do that. We've known each other for 1.5 years now, so at least you can do that. Huh? You don't even tell me your name, not even your you know. What you call that? Not even your species. At least you can introduce some girls to me, man. That's the only thing that I want from you. Earlier in this part we warned about the dangers of type assertions, but in our case the assertion is okay since we are sure that the file index.html indeed has this particular ID and the function is always returning an HTML element. Arimento. Yo, I knew what an element was in English, not English, Japanese. I forgot. Zokse. That's attribute. What's element? The Arimento. Yoso. If I knew cute JP girls, you think I will be here? I'm not talking about cute Japanese girls. I'm talking about the girls that you know, you are well acquainted with. Yeah. Anyone. Boy, I'm talking about American girls. Any girl, man, that you know, that live in your neighborhood, or yeah. Oh, they want people are 6 feet up to. I'm 6 feet. But 200k? What do you mean by 200k? Making up to 200k. I will make 2 billion. $2 billion every single week. So don't worry about that. Man, I want you to introduce to me some girls, not gold diggers. What? You don't understand what I'm trying to say to you. I'm asking for girls, not gold diggers. And apparently I don't have gold. So they cannot dig any. They can dig it. They can dig my dick. Oh Lord. React components. But earlier in this part, we warned about the dangers of type assertions, but in our case the assertion is okay, since we are sure that the file index.html indeed has this particular ID and the function is always returning an element. React components with TypeScript. Let us consider the following. TypeScript React. I think you're a goofy guy. I don't even think you have ever talked to a girl before. That's how you survive in the US nowadays. Damn. Import. Let us consider the following. React. Example, import react dot from react. Welcome props. Hello, welcome. React dot create react dom. Render Sarah. In this example, we have a component called welcome, to which we pass a name as a prop. We pass name as a prop. Okay, we pass name as a prop. We pass name as a prop. It then renders the name to the screen. Okay. We know that the name should be a string. In React, there is no way to ensure that the component is used correctly. In older React versions, it was possible to define expected types for component props and receive warnings about type mismatches using the protypes feature, but support for this has been removed in React 19. Now with TypeScript, we can define the types with the help of TypeScript. With types we can define. Too bad, when I was in my school I had no interest. I was like, I talked to a lot of girls. I was very famous with girls. Not in that sense. I used to talk to a lot of girls. That's what I'm saying. In my high school years, but then like at that time I had no interest in making girlfriends, so I missed that time. It's been a while I talked to any girl. Maybe once I get good enough with JP. Damn, that'll never happen then. maybe next life. Just not interested ever since in COVID. You don't have to be interested in COVID. It's already gone. Before COVID, I talked a lot. Damn. Talk to girls, not COVID. I guess like in COVID, people had so much time that they were sleeping and daydreaming about talking to girls. Isn't that right? With TypeScript, we can define the types with the help of TypeScript, just like we define types for a regular function, as React components are nothing but mere functions. We will use an interface for the parameter types, props, and JSX.element as the return type for any React component. I don't know, what were you doing during COVID? Yeah, I was nothing. I used to watch. Um, I think around that time I got my first smartphone, first phone around that time. Like 1 year before that, or maybe 6 months before that, I got my first phone, first ever phone. Can you believe that? At the age of 20, I got my first phone, and then yeah, I used to watch many YouTubers, and at that time I learned to, like, I already knew a little English, but anyhow, I used to watch PewDiePie and all that, gaming YouTubers. That's how I learned English. Lol, what? Yeah, it's not America, I mean, it's India. We also think the same, It also, like, when in the movies, Hollywood movies, we see people with smartphones and, like, a lot of things. Kids having a lot of things, tech. We also wonder, like, damn, these guys are rich. I will talk to girls soon. You will have a man soon. Damn. Fuck girl, fuck. Okay. Fuff everything. Okay. Never say never. Never say never. Never say never. Okay. Maybe. I pray for you that you find someone that you can introduce to me. For you, you can do whatever. I thought I wasn't going to get a job anytime soon, and yet I got one. Damn. But not a girlfriend. It means it's possible. Yeah. How did you get that job, man? Just let people know in your company that one more guy is there is one more awesome guy you can hire. He is just at the same level as me, as you, when you got hired. So yeah, very much talented. I just interview. Oh, you interview? I mean, what do you mean? You do interviews, or you gave interview for the job and got the job? You talking about that? I am. Of course. You can take my interview, and yeah, I'll have a job as well. If you would be considered enough to give me one. I did interviews. Really? Really? You did interviews? Give me one job, man. You know how hardworking I am. Yeah. If you'll give me job, I will come to your office. I will work there, and I'm gonna stream. Then you can watch that while we two be in the same office. Me streaming, doing my work, and you're watching me and chatting in the comment section, and I'm replying to you. Then our boss comes, and he'll be like, "What you fuckers doing?" Oh my lord. My interface welcome prompts. Name string. Const welcome prop. Welcome JSX.element. Return hash 1. Hello. props.me. Just become a full-time streamer, man. And the streaming thing doesn't give you money. This thing doesn't give you grass. No greenery with this streaming thing. Even the people who like talk about, who are seeing like, oh, just become a full-time streamer, like they have ad blockers on. How can this streamer earn money if you guys are gonna have ad blockers? And then you are giving me advices about becoming a full-time streamer? Like, it does for others, law. Mama. Go for many Americans, they do have a girlfriend, or even if they don't, like they have had experience. So sucks to sucks, man. What? Suck to stock. Welcome prompts. That's an interface. Name. Oh meri doolna. React dom.create root and all that. We define a new type, welcome props, and passed it to the functions parameter types const welcome props, const welcome props, JSX element. Okay, you can write the same thing using a more verbose syntax. Const props name string. Dayone. You could write the same thing using a more verbose syntax. Now our editor knows that the name prop is a string. Ring, sting. There is actually no need to define the return type of a React component since the TypeScript compiler infers the type automatically अनुमान लगाता है, so we can just write. Right now it's hard to find job. Hopefully you'll get lucky and Japanese company is high. Yeah, of course, man. They will hire this guy definitely. Const welcome, or I'll hire, or if they don't hire me, I'm gonna hire Japanese guys, girls to work in my company. Damn it. Props. Kira. Remember Kira? Remember Kira? Hello. Props.name. CEO Yoksh. Of course. Props. Look at the guy learning about props. Oh my lord. Yo, I already know about props. It's yours. I'm learning TypeScript with React. That's what I'm doing. React.create like that. That's it. Emma. Create a new Weed app with TypeScript in the dictionary in the directory course of your submission repository. This exercise is similar to the one you have already done in part 1 of the course, but with TypeScript and some extra tweaks. Start off by modifying the contents of main.tsx to the following. Arigatou gozaimasu. React DOM create get element by ID root, not like, you know, what you call this, non-null assertion operator. Okay, and app.tsx is going to be like this. Course parts, fundamentals, exercise count, and const total exercises. Course parts reduce some part. Oh, of course. Sum plus part dot exercise count 0 reduce sum. Okay, total exercises is gonna give in part. What is part? Just can't wait to become a profitable trader so I can travel to Japan whenever I want. Damn. What are you gonna do there? You don't know girls. You cannot talk to girls. What are you gonna do there, huh? You don't have the balls to talk to girls. 早く儲かるトレーダーになって好きな時に日本へ旅行に行けるようになりたい。See crosses. You can see the grass. Just go outside of your office. You'll see grass. But if you're gonna see girls, then visit Japan. Actually, girls are beautiful, no matter what the country has. Yeah. I can make a video flying to Japan just to touch one grass and fly back. Damn. No shit, you. Of course, man. Course. Header, counterparts and all like that. And remove the unnecessary files. Then we made like 3 components out of that. Like we separated all this mess into separate components. We had header, content, and content. Can I cunt you tent? Can I cunt your tent? Sorry. Same thing as saying there are smart people in Japan too. Damn. So what can I do? They are everywhere. Even in India, even one guy is streaming right now. Even one smart guy is streaming right now. They're everywhere, man. You cannot stop smart guys from getting rich and getting goals and remove the unnecessary files. The whole app is now in one component. That is not what we want. So refactor the code so that it consists of 3 components: header, content, and total. Guys like us are like, shit. I don't know where do I get this kind of sudden burst of energy. Sometimes it's funny. Actually, like, I can just put export over here, but I like this more than that one, you know. All data is still keeping. Can I keep you? Can I keep you? This is going to be the last one, okay? Man, I wish I had a ओ मेरी ढूलना, ओ मेरी ढूलना, मैं ता हो गई मेरे ढूलना, मेरे ढूलना. या के दो. Sorry. If we are not poor, we can do whatever we want. That's true. If you are not, then I am, but I will never be. I am, but I will not be. I will not remain poor. Man, I was born not so poor, but I'm not gonna die not so poor, but I'm not gonna die poor. Can I poo-poo or interface dake do header props. Props. It's like that. Oh, name string this name. Name string this Teddy bears ki. Sorry this kiddo. Sorry. How does it sound? Sorry. Does it sound funny to you? Sorry. My sorry. You know my life would have been better if I didn't lose that 28k back in February. Damn, I would have gotten some money from that if you were generous. If you were kind, I would have gotten like 20k from that. You know, like if you can give me 20k, like that's enough for me, man. That's enough. I'll make that like 100k, not like 100x. $200k. Can you believe that? 200k. You're gonna get 100x return. Enough for what? Enough to get a enough to go to Japan and be there for enroll in a school there. Not like kids school there and get a student visa, and then eventually be able to get a job and what school, I mean, like I can join some boot camp kind of thing, but like first Yosh will do buy a plane ticket. Of course, why not? Actually, that's going to be the second thing I'm gonna do. First, I'm gonna contact some vocational college, school, college, whatever, and then gonna ask about some courses related to this, related to this thing, and then oh yeah, I wanna do that, and then be like, yeah, yes. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. घर में सोया था बे. Sorry. What does it do though? God damn, I'm losing my intelligence. To be honest, I don't know if I like, even after getting like 20k from you and then going to Japan, I'm gonna still have to do this grind. But yeah, like, you know, it'll be an kind of a change of environment. I'll be able to have a bit of fun, some friends. Yeah, I can go outside as well, you know. Mama, ask your parents to borrow. Shut up. Don't bring my parents into this. I'll get mad. Ma, they don't have this much money, man. They don't have close spots. I wouldn't do that. Ma. Someday my day will also come, and I'm gonna also become a rich man. Then people like you will be asking me for money. Not asking, people like you will be begging in front of me to give them some change. My lord. Calculate a single value over the array by calling function for each element and passing an intermediate result between the call. So what does it return though? The value, right? Like 15. Not a mic. It's going to be a, what is it going to be? A number this in a number this you should be pseudo exercises number, and then you know what, I get the props like that, and then return. मुझको राणा जी माँ पे तेरी माँ का, ऐसे गाने चलाते हैं यार इधर. तुझे समझ रहा है यार? एनफील्ड, तुझे समझ आ रहा है मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? मारूंगा बहुत. Is it even right? Like I don't know. Why it's fine. Like it's my first time using types with React, so this you have no money but still able to gift you YT. What do you mean? Have no money but still able to gift YT memberships? Lol. Mama, Too bad I ran out of my memberships. I would have given a few more memberships. Someday I'm even gonna super chat myself. We don't have money, man. Oh, I can actually do, but I don't. I have no money, man. Please don't break it. Please don't break my heart. Super chat yourself. Of course, this guy can do anything. If he had money, I would have done anything, you know. But the thing is that I don't have money, so I'm alright. I do not complain. I do complain. But complaining doesn't help. You gotta make money. Money problems get solved by making money, not by complaining. Please don't break it. Please don't break my heart. That it already is. Money will give you options. Money will give me that. Money will give me the thing that I want, which is peace. I want peace, not problems. What am I even doing? What am I trying to do? Man, no idea, man. What do you mean, no idea? You have a engineering degree from an American school? Not school, sorry, college. And you say you have no idea? You should be guiding me here. Nandore. Okay, like it works. Half stack dev. Anata mo gaki omotteru. You got a degree too. But in it's not a degree relevant to this field. I have a math degree. Not a CS degree, so. Mama. Okay, let me do some of gem. Let me see if I did it right or I was just. I was just. Like I have no problem, so I think that's fine. Like I added the types to the props like that, so that should be all right. If it's not, then I don't know what's right. Okay, means you're big brain. Ma big brain jana yo. I have a brain which is filled with, which is full of dirty thoughts. That's it. You know, I always think about very weird stuff. Smooth like butter, criminal on the castle. Shut the. Sorry. Actually, in my college, I like in first year, I went to like I attended classes, and then like when it was exams, like I gave my 2 papers, and after that, like the lockdown was announced. Like it was lockdown, so I had to like I went there for my 3rd paper. It was my exam, and then but I couldn't write the paper because it was like on the TV, or Prime Minister was like, from today, like it's lockdown, don't go outside, like that. He was bullshitting. So yeah, we had to, like, my exams got cancelled, and for the 2nd year, like I didn't attend any any classes, even online classes. And then for the 3rd year it was the same. Like in 2nd year I didn't even have exams. College exams. Yeah, no I had oh sorry, no I had exams, sorry. In 3rd year, like there was like still a bit of lockdown, you know, but yeah, I didn't go to college in my last year as well. So yeah, all I did was self-study, and then yeah, went to write the exam. Then I had like when the results came out, I had 2 backs, like my 2 papers I've got supplementary. So then I had to go like do more study, and in like I could retake those exams, 2 papers, and then yeah, I cleared those 2 papers as well. Then I have my degree now. Yeah, I like after college, like my self-study has yeah, I'm all I'm doing is self-study. And like and the thing was that like I couldn't understand like what the teachers were teaching in the class. I don't know if it was me or the teachers, like I don't know. So I don't know how I passed. How I passed. How I got a degree. Well, it was all like when I had like the dates come out for the exams. Like you have your exams in 2 months, and at that time, for the whole year, I would like for the whole year my English, god damn it. For the whole year I didn't used to study, and then when it was like 2 months remaining for the exam, I get to go, like I get to like I used to sit and do self-study and all, and then that's how I passed my exam, graduated from college, I mean. Oh my lord. Oh fuck. Yeah, because like stop using like, first of all. When I like again there is a like when I get stuck, or when I feel kind of nervous, I used to the like comes out. So yeah, that was the thing. What was I saying? Yeah, if I had studied properly for the whole year, every month, every day, if I had studied, I would have scored much better grades in my college. But yeah, I studied just to pass the college exams, and I did, and which was enough for me. Stop saying like. You cannot. Do you also see like again there was like I even see like neaters using this like word a lot. In Japanese, like I've noticed, I've seen some people, I've watched like foreigners videos speaking Japanese. They use the word nanka like that, like the like. But I never use that. I'm already tired of this like. So I'm not gonna use that nanka. If you use these filler words in your language, like okay, there was again like, so if you use these filler words, then there comes a time when your language becomes like those filler words become your language. Oh my lord. Or goes pseudo. So this so this yeah. What was I even doing? Yeah, I was trying to. Damn.ちょっと待ってください。 ちょっと待ってください。ちょっと待ってください。OK。ちょっと待ってください。Sorry。ちょっと待ってください。Shut up! Okay. Okay. Content. Oh my lord. Actually, I don't believe in installing .NET in interactive version 1.0.712001. I don't want to install it. What installing it? Fuck off. Sorry. What am I doing? Curveball dodged. Your screenshot and the execution is solid. You split the compile. You fix the .map traps. I specially noted this line. This is exactly what I mean when I function. You used a clear array method instead of setting up a messy let tutor. More than JavaScript, this is everywhere. Socratic question. What? Are you still here? What does Socratic mean? Socratic. This works perfectly when every single object has exactly two properties. That's in real world, and specifically when you build a Megaki killer app, data is never this clean. Flashcard might have a video URL if it comes from Netflix, and an audio URL if it comes from a podcast. Socratic. If a Japanese startup's API sends you an array containing different types of objects, your interface will crash the entire app. The weapon discriminates. Did you need in full stack open? The next section is called deeper type user. It teaches you how to handle arrays with mixed object using union types. Instead of one generic interface, you define specific ones and combine them using OR operator. Sorry. Union type. If you sorry, this is the discriminator. This is it. If you type your array as correspond, TypeScript will not allow both types of object in the same array. Both types of TypeScript will now allow both of objects in the same array, but to render them without errors, you have to check the kind property first. Usually using a switch statement. If you type your array as course part, TypeScript will now allow both types of objects in the same array. If you type your array as course part, TypeScript will allow both types of objects. Sorry. If you type your array as a course part, TypeScript will now allow both types of objects in the same array, but to render them without errors, you have to check the kind property, usually using a switch statement. To your next FSO exercise, usually numbered 99.15, forces you to implement exactly this. You misoperate your app, the TSX. Have you lost your brains? Okay. I have 70 band के बच्चे deeper type users. Can I deep my type? Do you wanna dig at my I'll dig it. Course part 2. Oh my lord, give me some money. Oh my lord, give me a lot of money. Oh my lord, make me lord. Oh my lord, make me a lord. React app with state. After this, I'll be able to convert my app to into a React app. I'm gonna do it so. I'm gonna do it smooth. Sorry. Can you smooth? That's very soothing. Axios. Axios. Yeah, component app is much cleaner. Yeah, I can do that. Oh my god, I have talked too much. All I've been doing is talking. I'm just not gonna talk now. Just gonna take a break. Just gonna take a break. So this night. Peace. I want peace, not problems. Problems. I want peace. Always peace. No problems. What are you, man? Socratic. Smooth like butter, criminal undercover, can pop like trouble, making you fall like that. Shade stoner. Oh, mother. I'll it on to my mother. Hot like summer, making you fall like that. When I look in the mirror, how much I got the superstar clothes on. I'm trying my weight. यार इन लोगों को बंदूकों से, चुनरी से, गागरे से, सासू से, कैसे इन लोगों से सारे दिन ये करते रहते साले। बंदूक चढ़ गई बंदा फिर हट रहा भाई इसकी। अरे हटना भाई इसकी। Nanda Korea. Telangana. 美味しい。I may Alright, mate. Alright, mate. Alright, mate. So gotta go outside. Gotta go outside to get some fresh air. Let's do it, man. Okay, let's get back to it. I guess I need to update my ES code. नाच नाच कर आयो रे पसीनो पूना में आयो रे पसीनो पूना में पूनों में पसीना आया नाच नाच कर आते गाने तो बनते हैं भाई, मैं क्या करूँ अभी, मेरी गलती थोड़ी ना है भैया। लोग गाना ऐसे बनाते हैं, नाच नाच कर पूनों में पसीना आ गया, ऐसा कोई गाना होता है? Deeper type users. In the previous exercise, we had 3 parts of a course, and all parts have the same attributes and exercise count. In the previous exercise, we had 3 parts of a course, and all parts had the same attribute, name, and exercise count. But what if we need additional attributes for a specific part? How would this look? Code wise, let's consider the following example. This one is group project count 3. This is same. This one has name, exercise, description as in addition to background material. So in the above example, we have added some additional attributes to each. In the above example, we have added some additional attributes to each course part. Each part has the name, exercise count attribute, but the first and third and fourth also have an attribute called description. The second and fourth parts also have some distinct additional attributes. Let's imagine that our application just keeps on growing and we need to pass the different course parts around in our code. On the top of that, there are also additional additional attributes and course parts added to the mix. How can we know that our code is capable of handling all the different types of data correctly, and we are not, for example, forgetting to render a new course part on some page? Let's imagine that our application just keeps on growing and we need to pass the different course parts around in our code. On top of that, there are also additional attributes and course parts added to the mix. How can we know that our code is capable of handling all the different types of data correctly, and we are not, for example, forgetting to render an course part on some page? We are not forgetting to, for example, forgetting to render a new course part on some page. This is where TypeScript comes in handy. Let's start by defining types for our course parts. We notice that the first and third have same set of attributes. First and third. First and third, we notice that the first and third have the same set of attributes. The second and fourth are a bit different, so we have 3 different kinds of course part elements. So let us define a type for each of the different course of. So let us define should I just make change to this? Yeah, should I just change this thing or make a new thing? Like it's a like theory, so let's read. Okay, like that. So interface code course part basic. So name, we've got a name, exercise count and description and kind. Name, exercise count, description, and there is no kind. तुम्हारी गान में तुम्हारी kind is basic, then group kind, and the kind is background. Okay, so okay, we have a grind. Exercise count is number project. Third element change, third element, whatever third property changed. Okay, property and key. So third property is group project count. Description, group project count, and then the third background material. Okay, background material. Besides the attributes that are found in the various course paths, we have now introduced an additional attribute called kind that has a literal type. It is a hard-coded string, distinct for each course part. We shall soon see where the attribute kind is used. Literal types. In addition to the general type string and number, we can refer to specific strings and numbers in type addition. Hola, mucho gusto. Hola, mundo. What's that? Hola, mundo. Hola, mundo. In addition to general type, string, and number, we can refer to specific strings. We can refer to specific strings and numbers in type additions. One way to think about this is to consider how JavaScript, in addition to the general types, string and number, we can refer to specific strings and numbers in type positions. One way to think about this is to consider how JavaScript comes with different ways to declare a variable. Both var and let allow for changing what is held inside the variable, and const does not. This is reflected in how TypeScript creates types for literals. This is reflected in how TypeScript creates types for literals. For literals, changing string hola mundo, because changing string can represent any possible stringy string. That is how TypeScript describes it. Describes it in the type system. Changing string. Constant string. Because constant string can only represent one possible string, it has a literal type representation. Constant string. Okay, मुझे पता चल गया अब सब कुछ. It is a hard-coded string distinct for each course part. We shall soon see where the attribute kind is used. Damn. I'm going blind. I'm going blind. Mama. Next, we will create a type union of all. Okay, besides the attributes that are found in the various course parts, we have now introduced an additional attribute called kind that has a literal type. It is a hard-coded string, distinct for each course part. We shall soon see where the attribute kind is used. Next, we will create a type union, type union of all these types. That's a type union. We can then use it to define a type for our array. For our array, we should accept any of these course part types. Yeah. Now we can set the type. Okay. Now we can set the type for all course parts variable. Okay, sorry. Course name, course apartamento. I'm sorry. What are you, man? How is it like to be rich? I wanna know. Const app. Now we can set the type for all course parts variable. Now we can set the type for all course parts variable. Const app. Development. Sorry. Is it going to be? Let us introduce Heartman. Sorry. Okay, it's fine. Now we can set the type for all course parts variable. Course parts variable. We can set. Now we can set type for all course parts variable. Course parts. Type is, array. Course part array, big bracket. In that big bracket, aren't you a big boy? Aren't you a big boy? Basic kind group. Basic background. Background listening. Sorry. Interface. Background. Okay. Now, note that we have now added the attribute kind with a proper value to each element of the array. Note that we have now added the attribute kind with a proper value to each element of the array. Our editor will automatically warn us. Or editor would automatically warn us if we use the wrong type for an attribute, use an extra attribute, or forget to set in an expected attribute. If we try to add the following to the array, name type script in we can name type script in front end, exercise 10, and kind is basic. If you forgot about the description, the editor will show an error in the editor description. Property description is missing in type, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? Since our new entry has the attribute kind, I will need to type this all long. But I don't want to change this thing because I'm gonna get this else over here, which I'm gonna have to with can I get some okay, sorry. The deeper you go, the more you enjoy reading about types and React. What were you thinking? That I was going to say some vulgar stuff? I was referring to some vulgar thing? Damn. Since your new entry has the attribute kind with the value basic, TypeScript knows that the entry does not only have the type course part, but TypeScript knows that the entry does not only have the type course part, but it is actually meant to be a course part basic. So here the attribute kind narrows the type of the entry. So here the attribute kind narrows the type of the entry from a more general to a more specific type. Wait a minute, parse. Since our new entry has the attribute kind with the value basic, TypeScript knows that the entry does not only have the type course part, but it is actually meant to be a course part basic. So here the attribute kind narrows the type of the entry from a more general to a more specific type that has a certain set of attributes. We shall soon this style of narrowing in action in the code, but we are not satisfied yet. There is still a lot of duplication in our types, and we want to avoid that. We start by identifying the attributes all course parts have in common and defining a basic type that contains them. Then we will extend that base type to create our kind specific types. Extending types. It's pretty common to have types that might be more specific versions of other types. For example, we must have a basic address, or a type that describes the field necessary for sending letters and packages in the URL. Basic address, name, string, street, string, city, string, country, string, postal code. Also going to be on string. In some situations that enough. In some situations that's enough, but addresses often have a unit number associated with them. If the building at an address has multiple units, we can then describe an address with unit. Okay, this does the job, but the downside here is that we had to repeat all the other fields from basic address when our changes were purely additive. Instead, we can extend the original basic address type and just add the new fields that are unique to address. Extends. Okay. We can extend this like that. We can extend the original basic address type and just add the new fields that are unique to address with unit. So interface address with unit extends basic address. Then we add the unit property string. Stringy bringy. The extend keyword on an interface allows us to effectively copy members from other name types. Sorry. The extend keyword on an interface. The extend keywords on an interface allows us to effectively copy members from other names types and add whatever new members we want. This can be useful for cutting down the amount of type declaration boilerplate we have to write, and for signaling intent, that's several different declarations of the same property might be related. This can be useful for cutting down the amount of type declaration boilerplate we have to write, and for signaling intent, that several different declarations of the same property might be related. For example, address with unit didn't need to repeat the street property, and street and because street originates from basic address, reader will know that those two types are related in some way. Interfaces can also extend from multiple types. Interfaces circle colorful. They can multiple types, multiple interfaces can also extend. Interfaces can also extend from multiple types. Multiple types. That's fine, man. Let's go back to this. We are not satisfied yet. There is still a lot of duplication in our types, and we want to avoid that. We start by identifying the attributes all course parts have in common and defining a basic type that contains them. Then we will extend that basic type to create all kind specific types. God damn it, when will it be over? I'm gonna do this. Okay, 1, 2. It's over. Interface course part base. Okay, base. Name, string, exercise, count, number. Okay, numbers, and we are gonna extend basic course part basic extends course part basic. What? What's happening here? That's base and that's basic. Stupid. Silly guy. Sorry. Socratic. I'm gonna delete the Socratic. Socrantioka. What are you laughing at? Don't laugh. Okay, interface course part base, name string, course part basic, extends course part base, description and kind basic, the end, group project count number, kind group, interface course part background extends, course part base, description string, ground material string kind, description is with string, and type is going to be a type course part, type union of 2 type, course part basic, course part group, course part background, more type narrowing. अल्लाह उठा ले, क्या क्या सिखा रहा है भाई मुझे. Okay. Oh my lord. Okay, it's fine. I'm almost there. एक, दो, तीन. It's like 3 pages. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'll help you. I'll help you. More type narrowing. How should we now use these types in our components? If we try to access the object in the array course part, we notice that it is possible to only access the attribute that are common to all the types in the union. Okay. Content. If we try to access the objects in the array course part, we notice that it is possible to only access the attributes that are common to all the attributes. That are common to all the types in the union, and indeed the TypeScript documentation says that मेरे गांड में ले लूँ मैं सही है मैं अभी क्या मैं गाली भी नहीं दे सकता मैं इतनी गंदी गाली देता हूँ अभी. Working with union types, it's easy to provide it's easy to provide it's easy okay it's easy it's easy to provide it's easy to provide. That's how an Indian guy reads this thing. Provide. It's easy to provide a value. It's easy to provide a value matching. Who do you like that? It's easy to provide a value matching a union type. Simply provide a type matching any of the union's members. It's easy to provide a value matching a union type. Simply provide a type matching any of the union's members. Simply provide a type matching any of the union's members. If you have a value of a union type, how do you work with it? TypeScript will only allow an operation if it is valid for every member of the union. For example, if you have the union string number, you can't use methods that are only available on strings. Properties to uppercase does not exist on type string numbers. Property to uppercase does not exist on type number. Sorry. Okay, the solution is to narrow the union with code. The same as you would in JavaScript without type annotations. Narrowing accounts when TypeScript can deduce a more specific type or value based on the structure of the code. For example, TypeScript knows that only a string value will have a type of one string. Type of ID. If int equal to string in this branch, ID is of a type string. Console log down ID don't uppercase. Else, here it is of type numbers. For example, ine, atama ine. Narrowing occurs when TypeScript can deduce a more specific type of value based on the structure of the code. For example, TypeScript knows that only a string value will have a type of value string. Another example in R is to use a function like array.isArray. Function welcome people x string array array.isArray x. Here is x is string, this string array. Console log.hello x.joins. X is of string type, this array, okay, is array x plus join if it's true, okay. X dot join and sorry and sorry okay, sorry. Else here x is string. ちょっと待ってくださるतेरी माँ का. ओके मैंने है ना कुछ तो कर देना बताचिया. ओके सॉरी सटक ले लग गया भाई तेरा. इससे ऊपर तो कहाँ ही है. array.join, okay. Does the reverse split? It creates a string of array items. Text split string. The call to split with an empty-s would split the string into an array of letters. Bilbo Gandalf. Okay, sorry. It's gonna glue the array. The call to does the reverse split. It creates a string. It creates a string of array items joined by glue between them. So that's glue the array into a string using okay, Bilbo Gandalf Nazgul. Who the heck is Nazgul now? More type narrowing. How should we was I reading fire? Is my reading over? Not really. Okay. Notice that the else branch. Notice console.log welcome lone traveler plus x. Notice that the else branch, we do not need to do anything special if x wasn't a string. F wasn't an array. Then it must have been a string. If it's not an array, it must have been a string. Sometimes you'll have sometimes you must have ज़्यादा दांत है ना तेरा, मैं तोड़ दूँगा. Oh my lord, where was I? Oh, what was I doing? What to realize? Sure, sometimes you'll have union where all the members have something in common. For example, both arrays and strings have a slice method. If every member in a union if every member in a union has a property in common, you can use that property without narrowing. Slice. It might be confusing that a union of types appear to have the interaction of those types properties. This is not an accident. The name union comes from. It might be confusing that a union of types appear to have the intersection of those types properties. This is not an accident. The name union comes from type theory. The union number string is composed by taking the union of the number. The union number string is composed. The union number string is composed by taking the union of the values from each type. Notice that given two sets with corresponding. Notice that given two sets with corresponding facts about each set, only the intersection of those facts apply to the union of the sets themselves. Oh man, what the heck is this? Notice that given two sets with corresponding facts. Notice that given two sets with corresponding facts about each set, only the intersection of those facts applies to the union of the the sets themselves. For example, we have notice that given two sets with corresponding facts about each set, only the intersection of those facts applies to the union of the set themselves. For example, if we had a room of tall people wearing hats and another room of Spanish speakers wearing hats, after combining those rooms, the only thing we know about every person is that they must be wearing a hat. Okay, sorry. More type narrowing. How should we now use these types in our components? If we try to access the object in the array course part, we notice like an array, we notice that it is possible to only access the attribute. We notice that it is possible to only access the attributes that are common to all the types in the union. Okay, and indeed the types documentation says this. TypeScript will only allow an operation or attribute access if it is valid for every member of the union. The documentation also mentions the following. The solution is to narrow the union with code. Narrowing occurs when TypeScript can deduce a more specific type for a value based on the structure of the code. The solution is to narrow the union with code. Okay. Narrowing occurs when TypeScript can deduce a more. Narrowing occurs when TypeScript can deduce a more specific type of a value based on the. Narrowing occurs when TypeScript can deduce a more specific type of a value based on the structure of the code. So once again, the type narrowing is the rescue. One handy way to narrow these kinds of types in TypeScript is to use switch case expression, or if else you can use. Once TypeScript has inferred when TypeScript has inferred that a value is of union type and that each type in the union contains a certain literal attribute, in our case kind, we can use that as a type identifier. We can then build a switch case around that attribute, and TypeScript will TypeScript will know which attributes are available within each case block. One handy way to narrow these kinds of types in a TypeScript is to use switch case expressions. Once TypeScript has inferred that a variable is of a union type and that each type is the union contains a certain literal attribute, in our case kind, we can use that as a type identifier. We can then build a switch case around that attribute, and TypeScript will know which attributes are available within each case block. Switch part kind case basic console.log part the name part the description part dot exercise count this and there. Shut up. Yeah. Okay. Shut up. What are you, man? Okay, alright. In the above example, we are going to counts content course parts content props course parts for each part switch case. Course part for each, okay, each element, okay, for each part switch part the kind part dot kind basic case console dot part dot description part in the about I'm insane. In the above example, TypeScript knows that a part has the type course part and stop it. In the above example, TypeScript knows that a part has the type course part and it can then infer that part is of either type course part basic, course part group, or course part background based on the value of the attribute coined. This specific technique of type narrowing where union type is okay, this one is the basic one. What you call this? Type identifier narrowing union whatever, you know. In the above example, TypeScript knows that a part has the type course part and it can then infer that part is of either type course part basic, type course part group, or course part background based on the value of the attribute coined. The specific technique of type narrowing where a union type is narrowed based on literal attribute value is called discriminated union. I can't believe I'm going bald. Oh my god, that's so bad. Don't even try, man. Okay, this specific technique of narrowing when a union type is narrowed based on literal attribute value is called discriminated union. Note that the narrowing can be also done with if clause. We could do the following: course part for each part dot kind if it's background though console log see the following part background material, like that. Yeah, all that cannot refer to part dot background material here, of course. Stupid. What about adding new types? I'm there. It's almost over. Okay, what about adding new types? What about adding new types? If we were to add a new course part what about adding new types? If we were to add a new course part, wouldn't it be nice to know if we had already implemented handling that? Wait a minute. If we were to add, what about adding new types? If we were to add a new course part, wouldn't it be nice to know if we had already implemented handling that type in our code? In the example above, a new type would go to default block and nothing would get printed for a new type. Sometimes this is wholly acceptable. For instance, if you wanted to handle one only specific but not all cases of a type union, having a default is fine. Nonetheless, it is recommended to handle all variations separately in most cases. अरे यार क्या है, पागल वागल तो नहीं हो? बहरहाल तुम्हारा पापा. In spite of this fact, nonetheless, it is recommended to handle all variations separately in most cases. With TypeScript, we can use a method called exhaustive type checking. With TypeScript, we can use a method called exhaustive type checking. Its basic principle is that if we encounter an unexpected value, we call a function that accepts a value with the type never, and also has the return type never. What's a return type never? What's a type never now? So many things I have to. When narrowing, you can reduce the options of a union to a point where you have removed all possibilities and have nothing left. In those cases, TypeScript will use a never type to represent a state which shouldn't exist. Never, like never. You are not allowed to exist. You should have never existed. Is it like now? Maybe. Stingy. Niggard. What a niggard. Scotch. Skimpy. Scary. Stingy. Stingy. What a stingy guy you are. Churl. Chatty. Scrappy panny. Jew. What? Jew is conjuice? Churlish. Bagadu. Bagadu क्या होता है भी? Sneaky. Scant. Churl. Stiff. Scrapper. Niggard. 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 Miser. Cheese falling. Padding. Skinny. Niggardly. Niggardly. Scotch. Stingy. Stingy is fine. Stingy. Straight. 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 Penurious. Okay. Okay, this one. When narrowing, you can reduce the options of a union. When narrowing, you can reduce the options of a union to a point where you have removed all possibilities and have nothing left. In those cases, TypeScript will use a never type to represent a state which shouldn't exist. A straight version. Okay. With TypeScript, we can use a method called exhaustive type checking. Its basic principle is that if we encounter an unexpected value, we call a function that accepts a value with the type never and also has the return type never. A straightforward version of the function could look like this: helper function for exhaustive type checking, and then const assert never, value is never of type never, and function is also a type of never. Okay, return type, and then it's gonna throw a new error: unhandled discriminated union member JSON.stringified value. If we now to replace the contents of our default block to default returned assert never part. If we now were to replace the content of our default block return assert never say ever. Okay, sorry. If we now were to replace the content of our default block to that and remove the case that handles the type course background, we would see the following error. Okay, sorry. The error says that course part type is not assignable to a parameter of type never, which tells us that we are using a variable somewhere where it should never be used. Which tells us that we are using a variable somewhere where it should not be used. This tells us that something needs to be fixed. I should have coded it along. But it's fine, like, you know, I don't care. No, I do care, but it's fine because I'm gonna have to make the same kind of changes over here, and then a little extra things I'm gonna have to add, and then it's going to be over here. I'm over here. Okay, then React app with state. React app with straight Hamos straight. React app with state. State is also gonna have a type now. やなんやなんじゃとなんじゃとおいなんじゃと What's this, bruh? It's getting stupid now. On submit dot creation. Never say ever. Never say ever. Never underestimate my boobs. Okay, I don't have boobs. I have man boobs. Sorry. Communicate with server. Okay, I will communicate with servers as well. Okay. यार क्या है, मतलब इतना कुछ करना पड़ता है क्या यार? पता नहीं यार, ये एक पूरा नहीं आता, दूसरा को उधेड़ देता है, दूसरा नहीं होता तीसरा को उधेड़ देते हैं। तो माथा खराब है मेरा भाई, माथा खराब हो गया मेरा। तो सड़क ले ला है भाई मेरा, तो मैंने बोल देना है सड़क ले ला है मेरा। Since the types do not even exist in runtime or do not give us any safety against situations where the request file contains data in the wrong form. Never say ever. Oh. What? Or this is something, bro. Nandemo yarimasu. Kidotte kudasai. Nandemo yarimasu kara. Nandemo yarimasu. Never say ever. Never say ever. Ooh. Ah. 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 Is it okay to use like that? Is it okay? Okay का ना? Okay जाना ही देशों? जाना ही देशों? देशों उलो उलो देशों 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 फोन बुक नीवा फोन बुक नवारी बास फोन बुक का मारा माथा पर मेरे माथा पे फोड़ दे मेरा माथा सटक नहीं गया है मेरा माथा सटकेला नहीं है React apps React routers I've already done that login in front end what do you mean by login in front end oh have not done that already have I not done that already I think wait never say ever never say ever end-to-end testing testing कर देने इधर React app को I learned about hooks actually yes build तो नहीं करना अभी तक React native है रे इनको इनका लग गया Next.js oh they added Next.js you guys are too good you guys are too good man Next.js already also you gave me Next.js also wow oh what okay it's here 2 3 4 LLM Claude.md क्लॉड को फोनो में डाल ले कुछ भी बना दे साले क्लॉड बनाओ क्लॉड learn about React routers and then I think never go I'm gonna never let you go I will never let you go never let you go databases wow databases what's that bations your language is so gaff your language is so gaff I said gaff would you care to include some using relational databases? Oh, maji kayo? Oh, maji kayo? चुप कर भाई, पागल वागल तो नहीं है ना. फुल स्टैक ओपन रिलेशनल डेटाबेसेस. ओ माजी कायो. No in previous father. एसक्यूएल बोल्ट मेरे पापा लगते हैं. हाँ मेरे पापा लगते हैं. बोलना मैंने. ओ बैंड चो इनका पूरा करना पड़ेगा यार. फाइंडिंग नीमो. Yeah, what kind of person you are, man? What kind of a guy you are? Come on, go. Okay, yes. I found everything, man. This website is gold mine.
क्रेडिट पूनो में गया हटा मैं जो क्रेडिट बोलो मेरे को क्रेडिट का नाम मत लो हटा schemaless. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. I don't want to learn this. हाथी ओ हाथी चल 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 मेरे हाथी ओ मेरे साथी चल दी चल खटारा खींच के चले यार खाना बंद है मोटर का चल 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 मेरे हाथी ओ मेरे साथी चल चल खटारा खींच के चले यार खाना बंद है मोटर का चल 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 मेरे साथी मेरे साथी चल चल खटारा खींच के चले यार खाना बंद है मोटर का चल 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 मेरे हाथी मेरे साथी चल चल खटारा खींच के चल खाना बंद है मोटर का चल 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 मेरे हाथी मेरे साथी. Man, I'm so excited to do this. चल 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 मेरे हाथी मेरे साथी चल चल खटारा खींच के चले यार धक्का मार बंद है मोटर का चल 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 मेरे हाथी ओ मेरे साथी चल चल खटारा खींच के चले यार खाना बंद है मोटर का चल 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 मेरे साथी मेरे साथी चल चल खटारा. ग्रांड फिनाले ये बंद ही नहीं होता क्या सारा. हाँ गांड पिलाने इसको बंद कर इसका गांड पिलाने बंद कर दो यार इसका गांड पिलाने बंद कर दो सारे यार. माता खराब कर दिया गांड पिलाने चल 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 मेरे हाथी ओ मेरे साथी चल चल खटारा खींच के bye bye. That's it. I will not like, but you know, I'm going to be doing, I will be doing, I need to do, I've read till here. Okay, now I need to do this exercise. I don't have any energy left, any brain power left to do this. So tomorrow we will continue.
we're gonna start with this exercise tomorrow morning when I wake up, that's my morning, and then we're gonna finish this exercise and then we will complete the rest of the section, that we have, and then we have 4 more exercises to do. Flight diaries, we're gonna build this kind of flight diaries project completely on our own. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Meet you tomorrow. Bye bye. Have fun. Bye. Bye bye. Have fun. Hey, bye.